GDP versus GNP. Gross national product refers to output produced by a country own factor regardless of income location. I mean, and GDP refers to output produced within a country's border. Let's suppose this is your land. Whatever goods and services are produced within the border, it will considered as a part of GDP. But it some of your citizens are in abroad. They're producing something in over in other country. Let's suppose it's a X country, right? Whatever they are producing over here, if you calculate it, it will considered as a gross national product. I hope you understand the idea now. Uh, how you can calculate GDP with the help of uh, this information. So you have to you must know the net factor payments for net factor payments. Are income paid to domestic factor of production by the rest of the world minus income paid to foreign factor of production by domestic economy, right? If you subtract it from GDP GNP, you can get GDP as well. GDP. Now we will discuss expenditure approach, right? In expenditure approach, GDP is the total spending on GDP is measured by calculating total spending on final goods and services produced within a nation during a specific of time. Now we will consider the value of four components, right? First, consumers, then investors, governments, and the international trade. Um, Consumption. C is for consumption, I is the investment, and G is for the government expenditure, and X for the import, I am for the X for the export, I am is for the import. Um, Consumption, if consumption, what is consumption? Goods and service used by households, right? It can be durable, it can be non-durable. uh, Consumers are durable, which consumer are durable when they long lived item they used, like cars, television, furniture, etc. Non durable goods are shorter lived item, like food, clothing, etc. And services are the part of consumption, like education, health, final services, and transport. It's investment includes both spending of new capital goods called fixed investment. uh, there are two major components of investment: business fixed investment and residential investment. Business investments are the spending by businesses on structures, warehouses, office building. Residential investments are the spending on the construction of new houses and apartment building, right? Government expenditures, which includes any expenditure by government for a currently produced goods or services, foreign or domestic. Um, Net exports are exports minus imports, right? If you add all these values, you can get GDP Y. We are indicating Y as a GDP. Uh, the third and final way to measure GDP is the income approach, right? It calculates GDP by adding the income received by producers, including profit, um, taxes to the government, etc. Uh, National income is a sum of eight types of income, right? Compensation of employees, property rights income, rental income of persons, corporate profit, net interest, taxes on production and imports, Business current transfer payments, current surplus of enterprise. What is compensation of employees? Compensation of employees is the income of workers, like their salaries, wages, etc. Um, and property right incomes is the income of non-incorporated self-employed, like farmers, tractors, or dentist x-ray machine. Rental income of person is a small item, is the income earned by individuals who own land and they rent it to others, right? Corporate profits are the profit earned by the corporations and represent the remainder of corporate revenue after wage, interest, rents, and other costs have been paid. Interest is the interest earned by individuals from businesses and foreign sources minus interest paid by individuals. Taxes on production and imports include indirect business tax, such as sales and excise tax, that are paid by businesses to government. Business current transfer payments are payments made by business to individual, but not for wages or taxes as a payment of services, right? Current surplus of government enterprise is essentially the profit of businesses that are owned by governments. Um, Taxes on production. I think I left taxes on production and imports. Taxes on production and imports include indirect. Nee, I already discussed.